This might be actually the last moment Aqua has a chance to turn his life around. This is a chance to save someone you couldn't save in the first life, but if you crash out, he gives up on revenge momentarily. Reunion, happy-go-lucky. We're gonna have our brother-sister life. It's fine, and then he's gonna step on the fucking rake, Sideshow Bob style, and he's gonna just tumble into fucking Crash House Central. If Aqua continues down a path and gets himself killed after bringing him back into her life, oh my god, that's gonna be disrespectful as fuck. She valued her own mental health over the mental health of her own daughter. Caregiver burnout is an actual thing. You're just a piece of shit if you can't fucking push through for your kid. There's no other ifs, ands, or buts about that. See, I'd say it's not too late, because I think if I look at it from the story point of view, I don't think it's impossible for Aqua to turn back, but the way people bitch about the ending, I'm assuming he doesn't turn back. Oh, that's gotta hurt the most. Not even that she has a new family, the fact that she's never seen her happier. It's really easy to forget just how fragile Ruby is as a character, given what we're dealing with Aqua. But Ruby might suffer an equally bad fate. If future episodes past this continue to layer Aqua down a self-destructive path, you shouldn't expect anything other than self-destruction. However, right now, yes, it does seem very hopeful, so I'm interested to see how he ultimately ruins it. Absolute pain. With reunions comes the oncoming train wreck that Aqua is going to lead his life down, being all the more painful for Ruby once he reaches his destination. Damn. Now, those are just some of my highlights. You want to catch the full live reaction? It is a doozy. It is over on my Patreon, but let's jump into it, because Ruby and Aqua finally have their reunion, not just as brother and sister, but as doctor and patient. Now, throughout the journey, I'll be honest, I've never rewatched any Oshinoko season, so every time it airs, that's when Oshinoko's back in my life. So I was fuzzy on the details, but it all clicked. Yes, there's always been hints. There's always been assumptions Aqua's had, maybe. Hell, even she probably is hope. But like, to properly have this moment where she has reached her breaking limit, they now know. Because I forget which season it was either season 1 or 2, but they knew they were both reborn, but there's no reason to naturally assume they were each other, right? Like, it's just, you're some random bozo, right? And I think what Aqua did specifically in this moment, where he explains how there's so many times he hoped it was her, but imagine if it wasn't her, then he's just putting his desires on a dead girl and then invalidating who Ruby is as a person, right? It would feel dirty. But yeah, it is her. And it's so interesting because the thing about the oncoming end, now I don't know how it ends. I've expressed multiple ways it could. My assumption is that Aqua ain't having a happy ever after. Whether that's his death, whether it's he pushes everyone away, whether he becomes a goddamn drug addict junkie. Something bad will happen. You don't chase after revenge and ride off in the sunset. The thing is I think this episode is the first time in months that I felt that there's actually a peaceful way out for him. So this is one of those rare cases where, had people not been bitching and moaning about the ending, I would have actually probably assumed there's a way out for Aqua now. Not a high chance, but a decent chance. Because the thing about it is that for the longest time, as I said, I thought the bad ending was the incest ending. Which in this episode, you know, Ruby, she really wants to slob on her brother's knob. But it clearly isn't that, because the anime community's weird. Like, they would have loved that shit. So that apparently isn't what... So the only thing that makes sense in my mind is Aqua has a very negative ending. Probably death, but if not, he ends up ruining every relationship he has and he might as well be dead. That's the only thing that makes sense. And if I look at it from a theme-wise, all Aqua has done is stepped on rakes at moments when he could move away. Sometimes it's not necessarily his fault. If that goddamn bastard wouldn't have told us that he thinks his dad's probably still alive, Aqua would literally be fine right now. But he's on a path of revenge. He's getting everyone involved. So to bring Ruby back up from her lowest, objectively, her lowest point since her original life, only to probably crash out by the end of this series, it's gonna make this scene probably look tame. It would have probably been easier for Ruby to just spiral here, ruin her current life, bounce back, and hate Aqua than Aqua coming back in, saving her. Now, there's an argument to be made. Maybe part of the reason people hate the ending is they just rush to Aqua fixing things. Maybe. But yeah, it's going to be pain. I think it's going to be a fantastic ending, but it's absolutely going to be pain because he just made the ending worse for him and Ruby than if Ruby would have continued to hate. But at the same time, he can't just leave her here. So there was no real right answer. The only right answer at this point is giving up on revenge. And maybe that's also another thing. Maybe it's unsatisfying because he's so close to it and he gives up. Maybe that's going to be unsatisfactory. I don't know. But either way, there's a very strong argument to be made. This is the best episode of Oshi no Ko to date, and it makes me about 10 times more excited for season 4, the final season, which has been confirmed. Here's the thing. The mother storyline, her OG mom, fucking hate her. The thing is you understand the caregiver burnout. You loved your kid, she was given a death sentence. Eventually that burns you out. Dad says take a step back, recharge. The unfortunate thing is if you choose to be a parent, it doesn't matter if you're tired, you always have to be there for your kid. It's the hard truth. Yeah, parents can get breaks, but not in this moment. You have to remain strong until she can't open her eyes. The fact that you sacrificed her. As soon as it got too hard, you put in the towel. And as soon as she died, you had more kids. Fuck you. You are an objectively horrible, evil person. And if my boy Aqua has a little more revenge in him once Daddy Dearest is done, maybe we swing on by to her home. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, she was a fucking horrible bitch. Very well written character, makes you pissed off, but holy fuck, man. It's bad enough being Ruby, having to deal with, your mom in your second life being brutally murdered, trying to live in her shadow, having to tell all these fucking lies. It's even worse when you realize your first mom, the slim little bit of love that you lied yourself saying, yeah, she loved me. No, she didn't. She fucking despised you because you were too much of a burden for her. That makes Sensei, the doctor, coming in so much to show kindness to patients who didn't have visitors. You know what's crazy? This is December fucking 12th. It's damn near close to Christmas, and that's how she was treated. Fuck you. Now, I will say, this reunion, this is why those extra long episodes are so nice, because you wouldn't see this in an adaptation that had normal length episodes. I mean, I guess if it was a 12-episode anime, maybe. But having this reunion and seeing how hard she's held it together for the kids and just, this business has been strenuous on her. It's easy to forget how hard it's been on her. And yeah, I do appreciate the fact that she got her own revenge. She got to hit him a bit. Got to drag him back as the janitor. Also said, you're going to do all the paperwork bullshit that has been stressing me out. I'm just going to focus on Ruby and Aqua. But it's nice because I love the fact that even though there's an argument to be made, and she made it, that the only reason he complimented her so much is to get on her good side. I do think it's true. Had he been in charge of this company from the very beginning, after everything happened, it probably wouldn't have built up the reputation it has. But it is a good transitioning period that she's built up so much goodwill that she can hand off a lot of the burden to him, which he's really good at. Like the fact that he even explains it as, hey, you've been so focused on what if the work dries up? Of course the work will eventually dry up. She's not immune to it, but she ain't a lightning in the bottle that's gonna go away anytime soon. If you get more picky with what you give her as jobs, you'll relieve her burden, but you'll also make her in higher demand because she's very picky with the job she takes. That type of mindset she wouldn't have in this current situation because of how burdened she is. Really fucking satisfying. This is a really good piece of writing as well that I think will go overlooked. I will say though, one of the most insane things they could do. So they're bitching and moaning that they don't have good child actors, right? And what does my boy do? Hey, you work. Unexpected comedy gold, especially with her reaction of what the actual fuck are you talking about? I love that, man. This was easily my favorite season of Oshi no Ko. Now, I've been thinking about it because when season 2 aired, I consider season 2 better than season 1. And like I said, I haven't rewatched season. I'm waiting for the show to finish. We're going to do a full ass rewatch. But I'm starting to think that maybe I like season 1 more than season 2 now that I've seen where certain things have went in season 3. Either way, I think there's a strong argument to be made. So far, it has gotten progressively better, but I think the reason season 3 hits is it feels like multi-years of conclusion all at once. Maybe I won't like season 4. Could happen. But, as I keep highlighting, the track record for all these horrible endings has been in, like, the past decade, all these quote-unquote horrible endings in fucking anime have been widely beloved. Whether it's because anime has fleshed some things out, whether it's because anime watchers aren't watching this every single week for years and years, making it has to be like this. No, we get breaks, we get refreshers. So when we come back to these shows, we don't have a strong opinion of how things have to go. All I know is they have yet to show me a path forward for Aqua that isn't going to be pain. Now, for a brief moment, they started in this episode, but they even highlight in this episode that by making her more connected again, it's going to be even more painful for her. Expect pain, and I don't think you're going to be left disappointed. You'll just be left pain. Your thoughts down below, though. Drop a like, share, support, subscribe, ring that bell, and Patreon for live reactions to all these episodes and more if you want to catch my deep dives to any of this. And hey, if you're already over there, I'll give you a bit of a shout because my patrons I will make these YouTube videos possible. Alright, so today we got Rekatron, Buonake, Monica Lazuria, Jesse Kent, Kyle Kolchuk, Marsh, Hunter D. Lupin, Cosmonetta140, Zeno, Tony, and we also have Yuki Ali, so I appreciate the support. Please take care and you'll have a good one.